Welcome, my friends, to Neville Manifestation, a space where you don't just listen, you transform. If you are truly ready to step into your power, I invite you to become a member of this channel and walk this journey with us. Because today's message is not just something you hear, it is something that can completely change the way you see your desires, your reality, and yourself. Before we begin, let me ask you something that might change everything. What if the one desire you keep hiding, the one you're afraid to fully believe in, is actually the clearest sign of who you are meant to become? What if that longing you feel isn't random, isn't foolish, but a direct message meant only for you? Right now, in this very moment, something within you is calling for more. Not someday, not later, but now. And tonight, you are going to understand why that feeling is not your weakness, it is your power. My friends, take a moment and turn your attention inward, because what I'm about to share may completely shift the way you've been looking at your desires. What if the thing you want most, the relationship, the money, the healing, the opportunity, the life you've been quietly dreaming about, is not something you have to chase, but something that is calling you? What if your desire isn't a burden, but a signal? Not a test of your worth, but proof of your direction? What if the very fact that you want it is life saying clearly, this belongs to you, step forward and claim it? Tonight, I want to release you from a belief that has kept so many people stuck in struggle and doubt. You are not begging life for scraps. You are not trying to convince some distant force to notice you. You are not standing outside abundance, hoping one day it will let you in. The truth is much bigger than that. The desire inside you is there for a reason. It wasn't placed there to tease you or make you feel small. It was planted like a seed, a promise, an invitation. Life does not give you a deep hunger and then punish you for having it. It does not show you a vision and then deny you access to it. The desire itself is evidence that something within you has already been called forward. Yet most people have been taught something completely different. They believe they must earn their good. They think they must suffer, prove themselves, improve endlessly, and only then maybe, if they are lucky, they will receive what they want. That belief is not truth. It's limitation disguised as wisdom. Life is not holding anything back from you until you become worthy. It is not waiting for you to meet some invisible standard before allowing you to experience joy. The truth is simpler and far more freeing. Your assumptions shape your reality. The moment a desire appears in you, the answer already exists. If you can imagine it, feel it, long for it, then it has already touched your awareness. It already belongs to you in potential form, waiting for you to accept it. You are not trying to make something happen. You are learning to receive what has already been made available. Think about it. Why would a desire show up in your mind if it wasn't meant to be lived? Why would your imagination reveal something that has no place in your life? Why would your heart keep returning to something if it wasn't part of your path? Your desire is not random, it is a message. But what do most people do? They question it. They ask, am I good enough? Do I deserve this? Am I ready? And in doing so, they create distance between themselves and what they want. Let me be clear. Life is not trying to trick you. It is not giving you a dream just to delay it. When a desire stays with you, it is not weakness, it is direction. It is life calling you forward, asking you to accept it as already done. Your desires are specific because your path is unique. You are not meant to want what everyone else wants. What lives inside you is tailored to your growth. That persistent feeling is not a disturbance, it is guidance. Life would never lead you towards something that is impossible for you. It would not show you a door if there was no way through it. The possibility already exists. You are simply becoming aware of it. I once spoke to a man who carried a story within him for years. He wanted to write a book, but he kept telling himself he wasn't qualified. He compared himself to others and convinced himself he wasn't enough. So I asked him, if that story was meant for someone else, why was it given to you? He had no answer. Then I told him, the fact that it lives in you means it is meant to come through you. That realization changed everything. He stopped waiting to feel worthy and simply accepted the desire. He began writing. Eventually his book reached thousands, not because he became someone new, but because he accepted what was already true. That is the shift you must make. Your desire is not a test, it is an invitation. Another belief that keeps people stuck is the idea that life is waiting until they are ready. People tell themselves they need more time, more healing, more preparation. But who decided that? Life does not operate on delay for the sake of delay. It responds to the state you live in. If you believe you're not ready, that belief is reflected back to you. If you believe you must wait, you will experience waiting. Life mirrors your assumptions. It doesn't judge or argue, it reflects. If you assume you are ready now, life will begin to move in that direction. Think of a child learning to walk. The child doesn't question whether it deserves to stand. It simply tries, falls, and tries again. It assumes movement is natural, and eventually it walks. Your desire works the same way. Its presence means you are ready to step into it. You don't need to justify your longing. You don't need to shrink yourself before life expands you. You simply need to accept that what you want is already yours. I remember a woman who believed love had passed her by. She felt it was too late for her, yet the desire for love never left her. She asked me, "How do I know this is meant for me?" I told her, "If you desire it deeply, that is your answer." She stopped questioning and started accepting. Each night she felt what it would be like to already be loved. Not someday, now. Within a few months, her reality changed. She met someone in a way she could never have planned. She later told me, "Everything shifted the moment I stopped asking if I was allowed to have love and started believing it was mine." That is the turning point. Stop asking permission. Stop measuring your worth. Stop trying to earn what is already available to you. Recognize your desire as proof. Let go of needing to know how it will happen. Replace doubt with acceptance. And most importantly, live as if it is already done. Feel it, see it, rest in it. You are not convincing life, you are agreeing with it. Move through your days with quiet certainty, not desperation, not force, but calm confidence. Even when things don't go your way, understand that not every closed door is rejection. Sometimes it's simply redirection. Life can only deliver in harmony with your inner state. When you shift your state, everything else begins to shift too. I've seen people struggle for years only to transform their lives when they stopped operating from lack and started living from abundance. One man did exactly that. He stopped working from the belief that he didn't have enough and began working from the assumption that he already did. Within weeks, opportunities opened up, his income grew, his entire reality changed. Not because life changed, but because he did. Let this sink in. Your desire is not a sign that something is missing. It is a sign that something is ready to expand through you. If it lives in you, it is meant for you. So stop resisting it, stop doubting it, accept it. Say to yourself, "I desire this, therefore it is mine," and live from that place. Tonight, you have a choice. You can continue believing you must earn your desires, or you can accept that they are already yours in consciousness. Choose one desire, just one, and before you sleep say, "This is meant for me, I accept it." Feel the relief, feel the certainty. Then let go and trust. Trust that life reflects what you accept within yourself. You are not taking from life, you are receiving from it. The universe wants you to have it. Now stop resisting and start receiving. Let your world rearrange itself around what you have already claimed within. Good night, my friends. May you finally accept what has always been yours. This is Joel Bukto. I'll see you again in the next video. You tell yourself, maybe it just isn't time yet. Maybe I need more growth, more healing, more lessons before I can receive what I want. Maybe I have to become a better version of myself first. But pause for a moment and ask, where did that idea come from? Who convinced you that life works by holding things back just for the sake of delay? Life isn't sitting there deciding you're not ready. It doesn't look at you and say, "Wait a few more years." It simply responds to the state you're living in. It reflects what you believe to be true about yourself. If you believe you're not ready, your reality will echo that. If you believe you have to wait, life will mirror that waiting. If you feel unworthy, you'll see proof of that everywhere. But if you begin to assume that what you want is already yours, eventually your world has to reflect that too. Life acts like a mirror. It doesn't judge or argue, it just reflects. So when you say, "I'm not ready for love," the reflection agrees. When you say, "I'm not ready for success," it agrees again. When you believe you need to struggle more before things change, life reflects that belief back to you. But those ideas didn't come from life, they came from you. And life simply confirms them. Here's the truth. The moment you genuinely desire something, that's the moment you're ready for it. Think about a child learning how to walk. The child doesn't sit there wondering if they've earned the right to stand. They don't question if they're spiritually prepared to take a step. They just try. They fall, get back up, and try again. The child never decides that walking isn't meant for them. They don't settle for crawling forever. They naturally expect to move forward because movement is part of who they are. Your desires work the same way. If something keeps calling you, it means you're meant to step into the version of yourself that experiences it. You don't have to earn the right to want something. You don't need to justify your desires. You don't have to shrink yourself before life expands you. You only need to accept within yourself that what you want is already yours. I once spoke to a woman who truly grasped this idea, and it changed everything for her. She was in her 40s, single and deeply lonely. She had convinced herself that love had passed her by, that she was too late, too overlooked. She believed there were no good partners left for her, and that maybe she was meant to live alone. Still, the desire for love never left her. After one of my talks, she came up to me and said, I want to believe this, but I struggle with one thing. How do I know I'm meant to have love? What if I'm just fooling myself? I asked her, do you truly want it? She said yes. And I told her, that's your answer. The desire itself is proof. Life doesn't place something so deeply in your heart just to deny it forever. That longing isn't there to torture you, it's there to guide you. Something shifted in her after that. She stopped asking for permission. She stopped questioning if she deserved it. She stopped focusing on everything that hadn't happened yet. Instead, she began to think, if I desire love, then love must also want to express itself through me. If this feeling exists in me, then its fulfillment must exist too. Every night, she allowed herself to feel what it would be like to already be loved. Not someday, but now. She stepped into the mindset of someone who is already cherished. She stopped coming from a place of lack and started living from a place of having. Within 3 months, after years of feeling alone, she met someone. It didn't happen through chasing or forcing anything. It unfolded naturally, through a series of events she couldn't have planned. When she told me about it, she said, the moment I stopped questioning whether I was allowed to have love and just accepted that it was mine, everything changed. I wasn't desperate anymore. I wasn't afraid. I just knew. That's the shift you need to make. Stop asking for permission. Stop questioning your worth. Stop trying to earn something that is already available to you. If you desire something, that's already a sign it's meant for you. Now here's how you begin to apply this. First, recognize your desire as evidence. If something keeps returning to your mind and heart, that's not random. It's persistent for a reason. Life doesn't whisper once and disappear. It keeps nudging you until you accept it. Second, let go of needing to figure everything out. You don't need to map the entire path. Your role is to accept the outcome. The how will unfold in ways you couldn't predict or control. Third, stop questioning if you deserve it. Every time you ask that, you create distance between you and what you want. Instead, replace that thought with something simple. If I desire this, it is meant for me, and I accept it. Think about receiving a gift. When someone gives you one, they don't want you to list all your flaws before accepting it. They want you to receive it with gratitude and joy. Life works the same way. Fourth, step into the feeling of already having it. This is where everything changes. Experience it in your mind as if it's real now. See it, feel it, and rest in that sense of completion. You're not trying to convince life. You're aligning with something that already exists within you. When you imagine, don't do it from a place of wishing. Do it from a place of knowing. Because on a deeper level, the answer has already been given. Finally, carry yourself like someone who has already received what they asked for. Don't move through life as if you're begging. Walk with a quiet confidence, a calm certainty that what's yours is already unfolding. Not arrogance, not desperation, just a steady, grounded sense of trust. A quiet gratitude. A simple knowing that what you seek is already on its way. Maybe you're thinking right now, but what about all the times things didn't work out? What about the doors that shut in my face? What about the waiting, the setbacks, the proof that this just isn't meant for me? Listen closely. Just because something didn't happen the way you expected doesn't mean it was a rejection. Sometimes a closed door isn't a denial at all. Sometimes it's a redirection. Sometimes it's life guiding you away from the wrong path, the wrong timing, or the wrong version of yourself that's trying to receive it. Because whatever comes into your life has to match the state you're in. If you're trying to receive from a place of desperation, it won't feel right even if it shows up. If you're trying to receive while feeling unworthy, you'll push it away the moment it arrives. If you're still seeing yourself as someone who doesn't have it, you'll keep creating more of that same experience. So what feels like a delay is often just a shift that needs to happen within you first. Not because you're lacking, but because you've been identifying with the wrong mindset. The desire hasn't gone anywhere. The opportunity is still there. The promise is still alive. You just have to align yourself with it. And the moment you do, things start to move. I've seen this happen over and over again. Doors that seemed permanently closed suddenly open. Opportunities that were invisible become obvious. What once felt impossible starts to feel certain. Not because life suddenly changed, but because your assumptions did. I remember a man who struggled with money for years. He worked non-stop, took on multiple jobs, and still felt like he was barely staying afloat. When he came to me, he was exhausted and frustrated. He said, "I'm doing everything I can. I'm working so hard. Why am I still stuck? What am I missing?" I told him simply, "You're trying to earn something that's already available to you. But you're approaching money from a mindset of lack, and that's exactly what keeps showing up." He pushed back and said, "But I have to work. I can't just sit around and expect money to appear." I said, "I'm not telling you to stop working. I'm telling you to stop working from a place of lack. Start working from a place of abundance." So he took it seriously. Every morning before he went to work, he sat quietly and told himself, "Life supports me. I am meant to be abundant. I accept that now." He began to feel what financial ease would be like, not in the future, but in the present moment. Then he carried that feeling with him into his day, and things began to shift. Within 2 weeks, he received a raise he hadn't even asked for. A few weeks later, an unexpected opportunity came along that doubled his income. Not long after that, he stepped into a new role that paid him 3 times more than he had been earning before. Same person, same skills, same environment. The only thing that changed was his internal state, and that changed everything. When he came back, he said, "It felt like everything was waiting for me to stop struggling and finally be open to receiving." And that's exactly it. He stopped resisting. He stopped questioning whether he was allowed to have more. He just accepted it. Let this really sink in. Your desire is not a sign that something is missing or wrong in your life. It's actually a sign that something is expanding. It's a signal that you're being pulled toward a greater version of yourself. More than anything, your desire is proof that what you want is meant for you. If it wasn't, you wouldn't feel it so strongly. That longing wouldn't live inside you at all. So stop criticizing yourself for wanting more. Stop making yourself feel guilty for your dreams. Stop doubting your own heart. Instead, start telling yourself, "If I desire this, then it already exists for me on some level. I accept that it's mine," and then live from that place. Think from it, speak from it, move through your life with that quiet confidence. Not arrogance, not entitlement, just a calm, steady belief, a sense of gratitude, a willingness to receive instead of chase. You're not trying to force something out of a reluctant world. You're allowing something from an abundant one that's already been prepared for you. And that shift from chasing to receiving is what separates struggle from flow. Right now, you have a choice. You can keep believing that you need to earn everything, that you have to prove yourself before life gives you what you want. You can keep pushing, striving, and hoping that one day you'll finally be worthy. Or you can see the truth. The desire you feel is already the invitation. It's already the confirmation. Life has already said yes. Now the only thing left is for you to accept it. Stop waiting for a sign. Stop questioning if you're ready. The desire itself is the sign. The desire itself means you're ready. What you accept within will eventually show up in your outer world. So tonight, before you go to sleep, choose one thing, just one, that you wanted but doubted, and say to yourself, "This is meant for me. I accept it. It's already mine." Let yourself feel the relief of that decision. Let yourself feel the peace that comes with no longer questioning. Let yourself feel the certainty of knowing it's done. Then rest in that feeling. Trust that what you've accepted internally is already beginning to take shape externally. Trust that things are shifting even if you can't see it yet. Trust that life is responding to the new version of you. You don't need to force anything. You don't need to chase. You only need to allow. What you want is already yours on the inside, and in time, it will become real on the outside. So stop holding yourself back, start receiving, and watch how your world begins to rearrange itself around what you've finally chosen to accept. I'll see you in the next video. So understand this, your desire was never meant to confuse you, delay you, or deny you. It was meant to awaken you. The moment you stop questioning it and start accepting it, everything begins to shift in your favor. You are not waiting on life. Life has been waiting on you to believe, to assume, and to receive. What you seek is already yours in consciousness, and the only step left is to live as if it is done. Accept it, embody it, and watch how effortlessly your world rises to meet the decision you make within.